Today we have to start with the benefits management. And once you have already seen the program life cycle, you can very quickly relate it with the benefits management. And also I did show you another diagram in which all of these three cycles were shown together. How the governance and stakeholder and uh, the life cycle itself, then benefit management, all of them were mapped on one single diagram. So that was something which was more appropriate and could make you things understand. Here in program benefits management, we have got a number of headings. Actually, is the life cycle of the benefit identification, there in which we come up with the benefit register. Then we have got benefit analysis and planning, where we have benefit management planning and benefit management and the program. Then in roadmap, program roadmap and benefit register update. Then in benefit delivery, we have benefit and program components and benefits and program governance. And then we have benefit transition and ultimately the sustainment. Another change Ali was mentioning, the project mandate is no more there in the 4th edition, but we did mention it somewhere. Project mandate is no more there. And one more thing, there used to be a benefit realization plan. I don't see it anywhere now. Benefit realization plan is no more there, right? So there are small little changes which they have upgraded once they upgraded to 4th edition, and I am very much hopeful that very soon they are coming up with the 5th edition now. But we are not really sure when that happens. But it is quite a bit of time that 4th edition was released, and must be more than 4 years now. Let me see what is the publication date.
I think it was only 2 years now. It's only 2 years.
3 years.
It was somewhere in 2018, I guess.
17. It is published in 17. So next year probably.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right. So when we talk about program benefit management, this is naturally your next performance domain. And this has a very orchestrated life cycle. Although this edition does not call it benefit management life cycle, nowhere it is mentioned benefit management life cycle. But I would rather like to call it a benefit management life cycle. As you can see, you identify the benefit, you analyze and plan, you do the benefit delivery, transition, and sustainment. Because this way I can relate it with the program life cycle. But anyways, whatever you want to call it, this is benefit management. Okay, so we have got a number of elements here that are central to the successful conduct of the program. Benefit management includes processes to clarify the program's planned benefits and intended outcome, and include processes for monitoring the program's ability to deliver against these benefits and outcomes. Actually, what they have done is that the concept of output and outcome and benefit and one more thing, strategy, they have a little bit, confused it once they introduced the words output and outcome. Earlier than that, this was okay. Now, output and outcome, PMI is using simultaneously for the deliverable, whereas outcome is not the deliverable. Outcome is a little more than the deliverable. This is exactly what happened in 7th edition that I was reviewing. That the same confusion was there, and I specifically wrote PMI that this is not what is correct, and they should amend it. And they said they have corrected it maybe in 7th edition, but so far we keep seeing that even in program management standard and as well as in PMBOK, that they have sometimes confused the term outcome. Sometimes it tries to relate with the benefit, sometimes it tries to relate with the output, and therefore it loses its own value. But as far as when we are talking about benefits, then it is the ultimate long-term benefit. We are not talking about anything short-term. Although, even if you are talking about benefits, you can talk about short-term benefits, mid-term benefits, long-term benefits. That is okay with me. But I would rather call the outcomes at the immediate gains, short-term gains. I won't even like to call them benefits. Let them be differentiated. So outcome is very close to the output, but these are something you deliver alongside the output. I mean that kind of a kind of a benefit you are giving in short term. So uh, when we talk about intended outcomes, that is exactly what I was saying. Planned benefits and intended outcomes. So it's talking about from the perspective of program, and it is saying planned benefits and intended outcomes. So intended outcomes for the program, ultimately, naturally, he is not talking about short-term things. He's talking about the ultimate benefit. So this is slightly confusing for me. And include processes to monitoring for monitoring the program's ability to deliver against these benefits and outcomes. So here, the benefits and outcomes are kind of the same, whereas he should not have used this word outcome here. Anyways, the purpose of program benefit management is to focus on program stakeholders. Naturally, we understand the role of stakeholders. We have a complete performance domain on stakeholders, and we have naturally the program sponsors, program managers, project managers who are working under the program manager, program team members, program governance board, other program stakeholders, and so on and so forth on the outcome and benefits to be provided by the various activities conducted during the program's duration. Okay, to do this, the program manager employs program benefit management to continually. So what does program management does? Number one, it identifies and assesses the value and impact of program benefit. That is good, right? So program management is responsible for ensuring that the program benefits are able to deliver the value and the impact, right? So it identifies and assesses that. So it is validated. It monitors the interdependencies between the outputs being delivered by the various projects when the program and how those outputs contribute overall to the program's benefit. Now, here when he is using output, he is not using the word outcome alongside it. That means it is specifically talking about the uh, deliverable of the product. Specifically, it is talking about the deliverable. But in PMBOK, time and again, outputs and outcomes, outputs and outcomes. So that their outputs and outcomes, and here benefits and outcomes. So what is outcome? Is it related to output or is it related to benefit? Actually,
Mr. Suhail,
yes, yes.
sorry, Mr. Suhail. The way I understood it, that outputs are obviously the deliverables from the project. That's fairly straightforward. And the outcomes are actually the short gains, which can then lead on to benefits.
Exactly. That is exactly my point. But the way PMI is defining it in PMBOK and in program management standard, they are confusing it. You see, right now, right in front of you, it says between the outputs, right? And while we were studying PMBOK, the words outputs and outcomes were being used simultaneously, in the same sentence. Like, this project is to deliver the outputs or outcomes. Deliverables, which are outputs, are outcomes. So I don't believe that outcomes are deliverables. On the other hand, here, okay, as I go by your definition, or what I believe is output is a short-term gain, which comes after the deliverable of the product. Then why is he saying in the previous slide outcomes and benefits? Now, which outcomes and benefits are you talking about? He is not talking about the short-term gains. Is look again here.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Deliver against
So the last.
benefits and outcomes. What do you mean by that? But anyways, I am sure
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
there is
Hmm.
confusion, and they need to correct it because they can't live with it like that.
Hmm.
They did a big mistake by adopting development sector language, and the terms output and outcome came from the developmental sector. And they, if they could have translated it correctly, output would have been related to the deliverable and outcome would have been related to the benefit, and the story would have been done away with. But they totally confuse the whole issue. And ultimately, anyways, you understand it well, and I hope Shaul Hamid and who else is there? Uh, Hashim. They also understand. Hashim, is it okay with you? Do you understand the point I'm making?
Yes, sir. Understand clearly.
Okay. Right. So that is my point. But anyways, you live with your own concept, but I'll try to build whatever I can. Right. So the first thing was that whatever the program benefits are, ultimately their value and impact is properly assessed and identified and recognized. That you are ensuring that all the projects within the program, the interdependencies amongst their outputs and ultimately, consolidation of the benefits and all that, this is a whole story that deliverables deliver, projects deliver outputs are the product or the deliverables, and those are then they start yielding benefits, and the responsibility of getting those benefits yielded or realized out of it is of the program work, and program work then serves to unify several benefits into the ultimate benefit which is desired out of the program. So this goes all right with me. Then analyze the potential impact of planned program changes on the expected benefits and outcomes. Now, we just like projects, we do have changes happening in program, and the changes are so intense in program that maybe we are killing a complete project altogether and coming out up with altogether a new initiative. So this is a big change. Is it going to really impact on the benefits? Why did you change this? We changed this because we felt that program benefits are out of sync. That's exactly why. And now, once I have introduced some new initiative, I have made certain changes. I have gotten the change request approved and introduced something into the program, a new component. Then probably this is again the time where I should look at the potential impact of this on the ultimate program benefits. Assign the responsibility and accountability for the realization of benefits provided by the program. Now, as I was saying, what they have done is they have mellowed down on the benefit realization thing. Though they still talk about the realization of benefits, but they are a little soft on it. Whereas I can point out to another standard which they published earlier, that was the benefit realization. That talks about the benefit realization plan and all that. What I understand is that a management plan, benefit management plan, would only be responsible for how the benefits would be managed. Meaning what? All the previous, these things, uh, how the benefits would be identified, how they would be analyzed and planned, how they will be delivered, how they will be transitioned and sustained. The policy figures, the procedure of that is all given in benefit management plan, right? Uh, there still remains there to be a need for a benefit realization plan. But anyways, even if it is not there, we can live with it. We have no problem. But a benefit realization plan would be exactly when which benefit is going to be realized. This could be in shape of a roadmap or something, but this had to be there. Anyways, we don't fight with PMI. We move on. Okay, so align the expected benefits with the organization goals and objectives, and then assign responsibilities and accountabilities for the realization of benefits provided by the program and ensure that the benefits can be sustained. That is more important. That is a new emphasis. Previously, they used to talk about the transition only. Now they are talking about transition and then sustainment, because this is established that whatever the benefits you are looking at, they are not the ultimate benefit. Although they are long term, but they are not the ultimate benefit. Those benefits will ultimately be sustained and will go a long way. Therefore, there must have been a sustainment plan at the time of handing over these benefits to whomsoever, so that person could then be able to sustain these benefits in a long run. So you will not only be responsible for the benefit during the life of the program, you should also have a transition plan, how these benefits would be transferred to the other party. And third, you must have a sustainment plan, benefit sustainment plan ready, which would be also given to the next party as if they can sustain it in future. So a benefit is a gain, an asset realized by the organization and other stakeholders as the result of outcomes delivered by the program. Now, outcomes delivered, this is okay. This is okay, because outcomes is being used as a short-term gain, and I would rather watch for it. But other uses of outcome had been very dangerous. Benefit, no, it says something else. Here it has very nicely said what it had to be said. The result of outcome delivered. Now it is saying benefit is an outcome of actions and behaviors that provide utility, value, or a positive change to the to the intended recipient. So whomsoever is supposed to be benefiting from these benefits, that is the intended recipient. So we are giving that positive change to that intended recipient. So agreed, we move with it. Some benefits are relatively certain, easily quantifiable, and may include concrete and finite conditions. Of course, they can be, such as the achievement of an organization's financial objectives, 20% increase in revenue or gross margin. But some of the things cannot be explained in so clear terms. Like, like I said, you have to raise the literacy level of a region. How exactly can you be specific about it? Well, I can determine a statistical value today, and I can put in my expectation and say, okay, today it is 10%, let it be 70% by 10 years. So we can do things like that, but they are more of approximation. But this is very concrete. 20% increase in revenue or gross margin, or creation of a physical product or service for consumption or utility. So these are things which are more certain in nature. Other benefits may be less easily quantifiable and may produce somewhat uncertain outcomes. For example, less certain program outcomes may include an improvement in employee morale. So how much employee morale do you need, right? It cannot really be defined. So you have to come up with a Likert scale, artificial scale through which you should be able to give out some kind of a figure or a scale. Or for that matter, improve customer satisfaction. Up to what level? Again, cannot be really explained. So, may include a benefit such as the reduced incidence of a health condition or disease, again unspecified. We need to make it much more clear. Even if this is unquantifiable, still I would like the benefits to be quantified clearly, no matter even there is no scale available for doing that, like like money or distance or something, but we should be able to create a Likert scale that may gives more sanity to the whole thing. Various types of benefits may be defined and generated by programs. Some benefits, such as expanded market presence, improved financial performance, or operational efficiencies, may be realized by the organization performing the program, while the other program benefits may be realized by the organization's customers or the program's intended beneficiaries. This is those benefits which will be realized after the program has ended, after the program has transited its benefits to the ultimate recipient. That recipient is going to ultimately take advantage of those benefits. So that means our sustainment plan will describe uh, those benefits which have not so far been realized but will be realized maybe later, or the benefits which are being realized, how to sustain them. So this probably would be the cause of that. Regulatory changes may require the initiation of a program. The realized benefits from regulatory compliance programs may be harder to identify. These benefits may be limited to compliance, avoidance of fines, avoidance of adverse publicity. I probably think that these things could be better worded than just compliance or avoidance of fines or things like that. They could be better worded, and probably we can still make a good benefit out of them. Customers and beneficiaries may include operational or functional areas within the performing organization, or may be external to the performing organization. As we all understand, these people are the stakeholders. They could be inside the organization or outside of it, such as specific groups of interested parties, our business sector and industry, a particular demographic, the general population, or maybe you are doing something which in long run is going to benefit your country. So those benefits in very long run probably would be, uh, people will be reaping the result of whatever you have done in this program. So benefits defined. They are often defined in the context of intended beneficiary. So basically, just like projects, programs are assigned to us. We are doing this for someone else. So whomsoever is the intended beneficiary, that would define what is the benefit they require coming out of this program, and may be shared between multiple stakeholders. Naturally, this benefit is not only for the use of the single beneficiary. This a lot many stakeholders are partners to it. So this is our responsibility as the prime movers of the program to ensure that all the program stakeholders are involved and they recognize their place and share into the benefit. While the lives of the organization's customers or program's intended beneficiaries may be improved in some way as a result of the program, the performing organization may also benefit from the new or improved capability to consistently deliver and sustain the resulting product, service, or capabilities produced. So we are the performing organization. How can we benefit out of it? I think that till the time we are maintaining this benefit, or we are realizing this benefit within the domain of the program, uh, we are learning a lot. We are not only treating this benefit, we are improving our skills. We are, developing a new capability, and we also now understand how can we undertake such a benefit delivery and sustainment. So probably, and naturally, we are doing it for money as well. So we are earning money out of it as well. But ultimately, we are much wiser at the end of it. So every program is useful for the beneficiaries and useful for the person who is doing it, the performing organization. Other organizations, stakeholders, and intended beneficiaries may not realize a benefit from a program and may be subject to negative impact, such as reduction in personnel or consolidation of positions or organization. Now, what are we talking about? We are talking about those benefits which were not within the domain of the program to deliver till its transition. But there were such benefits which could have been realized long after the program has been taken over. As far as the sustainment of existing benefits is concerned, that much we are responsible for. But those benefits you are expecting in a very, very long run, and only intended beneficiaries are going to be benefited from it, they may or may not realize. And naturally, that would be partially the responsibility of the beneficiary to ensure that those benefits are realized, and if they don't, then probably they might not have done something right. And a partial responsibility may lie on the program manager, because he may not have properly designed for those benefits to be realized because they were not falling into the domain of the program. They were not his responsibility at all. But we are saying that certain benefits may get realized in the very long run, and the beneficiary can benefit from it. So that could be one of the reasons. Consolidation of positions are so this is kind of a very long-term story, and probably we cannot blame the manager for it. Minimizing negative impact, how can we do that? Minimizing negative impacts is as important as realizing the benefits and should be managed, measured, and properly communicated to the organization's leadership and to affected stakeholders and organizations. Now we are talking about within the program, if at all, at any stage while running this program, we understand that there is likely to be a negative impact. Maybe one of the projects or initiatives we are undertaking within the program that is going south, not west, east, west, and we feel that this is going to be an accident. This is going to be a negative impact coming out of it. So our immediate action would be to manage this and measure it and properly communicate it to all those concerned. And if at all possible, we may change our program strategy as if to avoid this negativity and convert this into positive impact or ultimate realization of the benefit which was intended. So first of all, just like risk management, we are trying to first manage it, mitigate it, and if possible, we can close down that specific initiative and start up with a new initiative which is taking us to the right direction. Program management should consider coordinating with internal organizations such as the legal, marketing, and human resource department when addressing a negative consequence. So naturally, the impact is going to be long term. So there might be legal implications. There might be, some bad blood amongst brothers, and people start, marketing. It could be bad for you. Human resource department also. So they all must be informed, and they must take necessary measures while we try to fix the issue. Programs and their components deliver outcomes that provide benefits by enhancing current capabilities or developing new capabilities that support the organization's strategic goals and objectives. So ultimately, we are focused at the organization's strategic goals and objectives, and we are consistently doing this. we are consistently doing this, we are delivering outcomes that provide benefits. By enhancing current capability to developing new capability, if this is happening, we are going fine. We are delivering the benefits. This is just opposite of the negative impact. This is a positive thing going on. Whatever we intended, we are gaining it. Benefits may not be realized until the completion of the program. Some of the benefits, sometimes the benefits only get realized when they are unified. So when a specific project has finished and its specific benefits are coming out, those benefits are not actually the ultimate benefits of the program, and therefore they all have to be unified, and only when all the benefits have been unified, the program benefit can take shape. So we must be mindful of that. On the other hand, we also have the other scenario where benefits start yielding, the consolidated benefit start yielding much earlier in the life cycle of the program, and they keep yielding, keep realizing throughout the program till it ends. So they may not be realized until the completion of the program, or well after the completion, or maybe realized in an iterative fashion, as I just mentioned, as the components within the program produce incremental results that can be leveraged to the intended recipient. So if we can give that benefit immediately as it is delivered, that would be an iterative fashion. And if it cannot be given at until it is complete, it has to be in one package which is to be delivered, then it can only be the intended beneficiary can only expect it at the end of the program. After program closure, benefits may continue to be realized, and naturally we do understand that benefits continue to be realized, and we have the sustainment plan for exactly the same purpose. Now, program roadmap. Depending on the nature of the program roadmap may be defined to produce incremental benefits and begin to realize returns on investment that may help fund the future program benefits and outcomes. So what I understand from it is that program roadmap has replaced the benefit realization plan. It has been shortened up to the program roadmap, because program roadmap is exactly telling us what benefit is expected to deliver. So although the benefit realization plan had a larger picture, it had a larger image around it, but now, because we are not using the benefit realization plan, so probably roadmap is becoming more important to us. So this will actually tell us how incrementally these benefits can be realized and can yield the return on investment. It is important that an incremental benefits are being produced. The intended recipients, whether internal or external to the organization, are prepared for the resulting change and are able to sustain the incremental benefit through the completion of the program and beyond. Now, this is something important that we had been talking about sustainment, but the thing is the intended recipient really prepared to carry the load which we are handing him over, or he will buckle under the load? So he should have right expectations. The intended recipient should be prepared for it. Although we are also giving them the sustainment plan, but they should be strong enough. They should have strong foundations and legs to support the load of the benefit, because the benefit which we are yielding might be really heavy. So the other party, the intended recipient, has to be really ready for that. If the benefit is incremental, that is somehow understandable, that the benefits are being yielded slowly and smoothly, but still the intended recipient had to be ready for that. Some programs deliver benefits only after all of the component projects have been completed. This is exactly what we have said already, that sometimes the benefit is only realized after it has been unified. Otherwise, some programs start yielding benefits as soon as our project is done and the benefits start coming out. And interestingly, if we talk about the project, there are projects which start yielding benefits while in the life cycle of project management. The project has yet not been completed, but the benefits have started coming out. So when the start of the benefits could be within the life cycle of the project, and those benefits which happen during the life cycle of project are the responsibility of the project, and that is, I would rather like to call them the outcomes. These are the outcomes. In this case, the project deliverables need to be integrated in order to realize the full benefit. Example of programs that deliver the intended benefit at the end of the program may include major construction effort, work programs such as roads, dams and bridges, aerospace programs such as space program, aircraft and shipbuilding, or medical devices and pharmaceuticals. So all of these examples are relying on the benefit which is consolidated and then delivered at the end of the program. Talking about benefit sustainment, benefits have to be sustained, otherwise there is no fun in realizing those benefits. Program benefit management ensures that the benefits provided by the organization's investment in a program can be sustained following the conclusion of the program. You have run this program for last 20 years. 20 years of effort has gone into it. Do you want it to go waste? Throughout the program benefit delivery phase, program components are planned, developed, integrated, and managed just to facilitate the delivery of the intended program benefit. During the program benefit delivery phase, the benefit analysis and planning activities, along with the benefit delivery activities, may be performed in an iterative fashion. So while you are delivering the benefits, you may be progressively elaborating on the planning activities, and you are putting it all together, all the benefit analysis, and maybe you are putting it right through a change request or something, may be performed in an iterative fashion, especially if corrective action is required to achieve the program benefit. Now the change request within a program could be as small as some corrective actions, or it could be as big as killing a project or a component and starting a new one. Maybe getting an extension for the program because the benefit is not possible to get them realized in the prescribed time frame. If you are given 20 years for this program and you feel that ultimately in 20 years we won't be able to effectively realize that benefit, and we may need maybe 2 or 5 more years to cope with it. Just like the example of polio in Pakistan, the polio eradication could not happen in 10 years and they had to extend its life. But again, I would emphasize on one point that while the benefits are being delivered, we are okay with it, but at the same time, we have to also keep checking, is it still in line with the organizational strategy? Because organizational strategy is sometimes very dynamic and it changes without notice. And if that happens and this program is no more valid, that is the job of the portfolio manager to judge that and immediately take necessary action. The program, no matter how well it has performed or how well it is performing, it will have to be killed because it is no more aligned with the organizational strategy. Not the fault of program, but it is the fault of the strategy, because there are certain things which are not in control. Maybe there was a hostile takeover of your organization, of your company. Maybe it was a joint venture due to which your main way of working, your main strategies of the organization have suddenly changed, and ultimately your program is no more useful. Anyways, as far as the sustainment is concerned, Program benefit management also ensures that the benefit provided by the organization's investment in a program can be sustained following the conclusion of the program. The sustainment should be beyond the program life cycle. Throughout the program benefit delivery phase, program components are planned, developed, and integrated, as I said before. During the program benefit delivery phase, the benefit analysis and planning activities along with the benefit delivery activities may be performed in an iterative fashion, especially if corrective action is required to achieve the benefit program benefit. This I've already read out to you. Now let's talk about benefit monitoring. Program benefits should be monitored and managed naturally. This is obvious. Benefits should be considered an essential part of the program's deliverable. And definitely they are, because the sole purpose of having it as a program was to deliver certain benefits. The risk structure for the benefits need to be established based on the organizational risk appetite and the program's strategic value. So both sides you have to look at it. Naturally, organizational programs strategic value should also be there, but what is the organizational risk appetite? Because if this is going beyond the risk appetite, maybe this is not a fit case to be still fit into the organizational strategy alignment. So if you are going beyond the risk appetite up to a certain margin, then probably you have to either take some actions or you will go out of order. Each program benefit needs to be assigned a risk probability. Naturally, benefits are to occur much later in future, and what if that benefit is not fully yielded or not yielded at all? What would you do? So assign some risk probability to that, as if we understand how much are the chances of this benefit being realized. Several factors may drive the probability, including the number of components needed to realize the benefit, the ability of the organization to absorb the change and sustain it. I hope these 2 points are very self-explanatory. If we have got a series of 20 projects going on, ultimately yielding that benefit, any one component going wrong may destroy everything. Maybe in the middle of everything, you have to make certain changes to absorb this shock and ultimately be able to still sustain it. Program benefit management requires continuous interaction with the other performance domains throughout the program duration. Naturally, there is a linkage of benefit management with the life cycle. Benefit management does not fit squarely under the program life cycle. This goes beyond the program life cycle and it starts a little later. So the timelines of benefit management are very different from the life cycle, although they happen sometimes in parallel. But we also have to look at the governance and the stakeholder engagement. They are also happening in parallel. These are also the performance domain. Strategy alignment is also a performance domain. All the 5 performance domains should be aligned. For example, program strategy alignment in conjunction with the program stakeholder engagement provides the critical input oblique parameters to the program, including vision, mission, strategic goals, objectives, and preliminary business case that defines the program benefits. Program performance data are evaluated through program governance to ensure the program will produce its intended benefit and outcome. So all of these things are contributing towards the same benefit. So strategy was created right in the beginning, like like we have initiation of a project. Similarly, right in the initiation of the program, we had this strategy alignment defined, and now we are keeping the program strategy continuously aligned. So this is what we are doing. Otherwise, the main work of strategy alignment had already been done before the program life cycle had started. And once the program life cycle had started, the governance and stakeholder engagement had to be continued, having their obvious benefits. Now, this is how the benefit management is going on and how it relates to the program life cycle. But you see, program life cycle defines it just by saying program delivery. Now, this program delivery actually is benefit delivery, but when does it really occur? Probably this diagram may not be the very right diagram to show you, but one thing is certain, that benefit identification had started much before the program definition, meaning the strategy alignment, the program formulation, the program planning, they all started later than the benefit identification was done. Benefit identification was done long before. Moreover, when the planning was going on, right in the middle of planning somewhere, that was the point when all the benefits got identified, and now we start analyzing and planning those benefits. Now, you see, during the program delivery, our benefit analysis and planning is still going on, but at a point, we start our benefit delivery. So benefit delivery does not coincide with the program delivery at all. When does the benefit delivery start in program delivery? As soon as the first component starts yielding its benefits. So let us assume that first component which got completed, it started yielding some benefits. That is the point benefit delivery has started. And now many components will keep yielding their benefits, and those benefits will be adding up to the main benefit, and the benefit delivery cycle is going on and on. And the benefit delivery will finish only when all the benefits have been delivered, consolidated, and ready for transition. I not really agree with okay, fine, this is okay. Benefit delivery, okay, it is completing the benefit delivery as soon as the last project has delivered its benefit. The unification element is left. The last component of program delivery has delivered its benefit. That is the point where the benefit delivery cycle is completed. And then while the program is unifying those benefits, these benefits go through the transition. So transition will continue into the program closure, right? While the program life cycle is closing, the benefit transition is going on. The handing taking over with the intended recipient is happening. And once that is done, and you have trained them, you have handed over the benefits to them, all is okay. That is where the program is being closed, but still we are doing something more to that. We are now providing them the benefits sustainment. And this benefit sustainment, which we are providing in shape of a document to them, this is going to go much beyond program closure. Though from program point of view, this is no more the responsibility of the program benefit management, but this benefit sustainment will continue with the intended recipient while the program will close.
Mr. Suhail, just one quick question. The benefits identification, is that an input to the program charter?
Benefit identification, you see,
yeah.
The basic thing which is going as an input there is the organizational strategy. Organizational strategy, by the time the organizational strategy has been put in place, the general benefits which are expected from this program are being defined. They have already been defined. They have already
Okay.
been defined. So
Right.
by that time, we have a fair idea of the benefit, but the benefit identification continues. Benefit, because there is more uncertainty in programs. More uncertainty in program. You cannot be firm about it that all the benefits have been properly identified. While you are formulating the program, while you are planning it, the benefits are still being identified, and you will amend your program accordingly.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
If we can somehow relate these two things, benefit management and the program life cycle, then we can now talk about the individual activities which are happening, individual processes which are happening within each one of the benefit cycle units. Benefit identification, what it is doing, it is basically responsible for identification and qualification of the benefits. Now, I would rather like to uh, call it compare it with the risk identification or the stakeholder identification. I suppose this is one and the same. Whenever we identify anything, that is for the purpose of assessing it. First we identify, then we assess it, and the assessment goes through qualitative and quantitative analysis, and then we develop some kind of strategy. So as far as the identification is concerned, we at least are involved in the qualification of those benefits which we have identified over a long period of time. Once that is done, now we plunge into the in-depth analysis of these benefits and detailed planning, how these benefits are going to be delivered. And that was exactly the point where in the previous version, benefit realization plan was developed. Here, benefit realization plan was coming out. But anyways, it is no more there. Derive and prioritize the benefits. Now, why are we prioritizing? Because this is the qualitative analysis of the benefits. So how are we going to derive the benefits and how do we prioritize them? Then derive the benefit matrix. How the benefits will be measured? What would be the scale? Will it be some common scale, or will it be an intangible and I have to come up with a Likert scale or some other kind of way for measuring it? Establish benefit management plan. And this benefit management plan is how we will go about doing all this, how the benefits are, what are the policies and procedures for benefit identification, analysis, planning, delivery, transition, sustainment. This all is encapsulated into the benefit management plan. So we create the benefit management plan here. Last but not the least here is mapping the benefits into program management plan. And now, once we map it into the program management plan, that means we are actually, this is the benefit realization. We are actually making it on the timeline or the roadmap. We are ensuring that these benefits appear on the roadmap of the program. When a specific benefit will start realizing. So roadmap is very closely associated with it, and that is exactly why benefit realization plan terminology has been eradicated. So roadmap becomes more important to me. Benefit delivery, we will monitor all the components. We will maintain the benefit register, and naturally we'll keep noting down what is the status of the benefit, and ultimately we report these benefits to the intended recipients. Then we move on to the benefit transition. Here transition is where you see the consolidation is happening here. That is exactly what I said. The consolidation starts happening during program delivery and it completes while the program closure is going on, right? And benefit delivery had finished when the last benefit from the last component had been yielded. That is exactly the point where the benefit delivery has stopped and benefit transition has started, and the benefit transition is still part of program delivery, but it continues on into the closure. And ultimately, to seal the closure, we must create and give them the benefit sustainment plan, and then the responsibility of benefit sustainment goes on to the intended recipient. So in transition, we said uh, consolidate the coordinated benefits and transfer the ongoing responsibility. So as soon as benefit transition has happened, we are no more responsible. We are no more responsible. If there was a need to make them understand, to train them, or whatever, we have done that. The job is done. The only thing now left is the benefit sustainment, that is, monitor performance of benefits. Whatever we have transited to them, we are going to be looking at it with a microscope, how well they are managing it, how well they are sustaining it. We have already providing them a sustainment plan. Are they going beyond according to that? And if at all need be, we can advise them for a short period of time. We are not going to take the responsibility of the benefit sustainment forever. And we ensure continued realization of benefits by exactly doing that. Once the service we have provided them by providing them the sustainment plan and the monitoring facility, this will ensure that they tune up and they start yielding the benefit, and they are able to shoulder their own responsibility. So no, we are no more required here. So this is how the program will be closed. So although these two cycles, benefit management and the program life cycle, are not exactly the same, but they have got many intersection points. Now, taking them one by one, benefit identification. So here we talk about benefit identification. Okay, these are all the that is take on the benefit identification. The purpose of benefit identification is to analyze the available information about organizational and business strategies. So the story started when we started exploring. At that point in time, we did not have any benefit in sight, but we started exploring. We start looking internally and externally. We look for the influences. We look for program drivers to identify and qualify the benefits the program stakeholders expect to realize. So for this, I need to have stakeholders on board. Stakeholders for the program should have been identified, as if I am coining the idea of what all kinds of benefits do you want. As described in section 3, which was probably the previous section, organizational initiatives. No, section 3 was alignment, strategy alignment. So as described in strategic alignment, organizational initiatives are identified and documented during an organization strategic planning exercise. So once we were doing that, at that time, we were doing the benefit identification also. Rather, even before that, we were doing that. These initiatives describe the goals and activities for the organization. A strategic decision-making body, typically in the form of a program governance board, may issue a program charter, and there is no mention of a mandate here any further. So, strategic decision-making body is program governance board. They are responsible for issuing the program charter, defining the strategic objectives that the program is intended to address, and the benefits that are expected to be realized. So, by this time, we are pretty much clear about the benefits, and that's why the alignment has been created. The program charter is supported by a valid business case. Actually, for creating the charter, we must have a reason, and that reason is the business case, a proper official document which proves that this project is going to be suitable. So what are the activities included in benefit identification? That make up benefit identification include defining the objective and critical success factors for the program, CCFs, identify and quantify business benefits. I've already talked about it. Developing meaningful metrics and key performance indicators to measure the actual delivery of benefits and planned benefits. You see, just have a look at the very first point, defining the objectives and critical success factors. So critical success factors are at a higher level, at the objective level, what would we, which factors would indicate that we are meeting success. Now, a lower degree to that is key performance indicators. This is just the performance indicator, whereas critical success factor is the wow moment, whether we have met, we did it or we didn't. Establishing processes for measuring progress against the benefit plan, and then creating the tracking and communication processes necessary to record program progress and report to the stakeholders. So this thing is all about identification. A number of activities, we are defining objectives, CSFs, we are identifying and quantifying benefits, we are developing the metrics and KPIs, we are establishing the processes for measuring progress, and we are creating the track and communication processes necessary to record program progress and report to the stakeholder. Now, business case, naturally, the whole story started with this document. This is the key input for organizational leadership to charter and authorize program. This is the reason why your program is existing. So this initiative was taken to authorize this project, to give charter to this project as part of the program governance performance domain. So program governance, the good governance of the program dictated that this charter be issued. The business case is suitable, therefore charter be issued. So this is part of the good governance of the program. It serves as a formal declaration of the value that the program is expected to deliver and a justification for the resources that will be expended to deliver it. So as we say in the project charter also, this is an authorization. This is in this case for the program manager to mobilize the resources. This is a justification based on which program manager is authorized to mobilize the resources and start work that will be expended to deliver it. The business case establishes the authority, intent, philosophy of the business need and program sponsorship while providing direction for structure, guiding principles, and organizations of the program. So a lot many things out of these are coming from the program governance. The direction is coming, the structure, the guiding principle. Most of these things are actually coming from the program governance. Business case connects the organizational strategy and objective to the program objectives and helps identify the level of investment and support required to achieve the program benefits. So basically, business case is providing that critical link, but at the same time, the responsibility of maintaining this link and keep an eye on this link is of the portfolio. Portfolio will ensure that it remains viable. The business case remains viable, and if at any stage in life the business case is no more viable, immediately portfolio will take action to kill the program maybe. Benefit register naturally is a list of all the registers, collects the list and lists the planned benefits for the program, and is used to measure and communicate the delivery of benefits throughout the duration of the program. So this list is extremely useful for us. In the benefit identification phase, the benefit register is developed. So because when we were identifying the benefits, this register was created at that point in time based on the program, business case, strategic plan, other relevant program objectives. The register is then reviewed with key stakeholders to develop the appropriate performance measures for each of the benefits.
Mr. Suhail, sorry to interrupt. The previous slide on the business case, there was a huge section in the strategy alignment on business case. Why is it again inside the benefits identification? This one, yes.
Okay.
Why is it here as well?
This is not exactly in benefit identification. This is all happening in parallel. You see, the form strategy alignment is going on, and the charter is being developed, and while the benefits were being identified, right? So this is happening in parallel. But they coincide at this point. They tie up at this point.
Right at the bottom, yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Talking about the key performance indicators, they are identified in this phase, in benefit identification, and their associated quantitative measures are defined and elaborated in the next phase, where the program benefit register is updated. The benefit register may take many forms, but typically includes at minimum. So these are some of the contents which could be there in the benefit register, like list of all the benefits, mapping of those benefits to the program components as reflected in program roadmap. So that would provide a justification for having this benefit here. If some benefit is not connected with the roadmap or the strategy of the organization, that specific benefit may not be required. Description of how each of the benefits will be measured. This is important. We must know the metric for that. We must know the key performance indicators and thresholds for evaluating their achievement. We must have risk assessment and probability for achieving the benefit. This is important because when we are handing over those benefits, we will transmit this risk probability with it. Status and progress indicator for each benefit. Progress indicator. So what is the status of the progress for this specific benefit? And what are the target dates and milestones for the benefit achievement? Who is responsible person, group, or organization for delivering each of the benefits? Establishment of processes for measuring progress against the benefit plan, and ultimately the last point, tracking and communication processes, necessity to record program progress and report to the stakeholder. This is our ultimate target in identification. So if you look at these things, you will find that most of the things are what we had to do in benefit identification. They all are covered in this one register. Benefit register does include everything the benefit identification had to do. Moreover, I would like to elaborate a bit more on the key performance indicator and what we said, critical success factors. Key performance indicators is, you see, at program level, you are not supposed to micromanage your project. Similarly, the people sitting in governance board cannot and should not micromanage the program. Here we are not really concerned about what is happening in the project, but as far as the program is concerned, naturally program manager is responsible for running it, and he knows the micro details of what is happening in the program, but and he is also reporting it to the stakeholders as well as to the governance board or whatever, whomsoever is the sponsor. But there may be a tendency that program manager may be doing some kind of biased reporting. His reporting may be biased. So how would the governance board or the program sponsor would know that whatever reports are coming to him, because he is not micromanaging, he can't look over the shoulder, but there must be some alternative mechanism to ensure that everything is working all right. So again, I would say there is no need to micromanage, but you have to identify some key performance indicators, which would be the stand-up points, which would show whether things are going according to the plan or not. So these indicators might be very different from the micro level details. Maybe you see, as a program sponsor, you feel that there is a continued unrest in the staff of the program. So that could be one of the indicators, and you may like to measure that this unrest continues for last 3 months. So there is something wrong happening in the organization, in the program. So these these are indirect indicators, and there could be some very direct indicators. Those key performance indicators would let you know what exactly is happening in the program and where do we stand. Is there a reason to be concerned about or not? So key performance indicators are directly linked with what is happening, and key success factors are directly linked with the strategy. Are we meeting strategic goals? So critical success factors are being achieved. So they have to be identified and measured in a different way, and KPIs are slightly in more detail, but KPIs are also much beyond the micro level management of the program. And similarly, we say a program manager should also not micromanage the project. So again, I would say that program manager also, for the management of his program, he is keeping an eye on the projects through his own identified KPIs. Not the same KPIs, but these KPIs are, but some KPIs he would have to look at the program, at the projects, at the components of the program. But they are different kind of KPIs. We are not talking about. We don't have to confuse these KPIs with those KPIs. Okay. Then we move over to the analysis and planning. The purpose of benefits analysis and planning is to establish the program benefit realization plan. This is exactly what I was saying. Although they do not really call it in so many words, but basically we have to come up with exactly what benefit is to be realized at what point. Maybe it is a timeline, maybe it is a roadmap, whatever it is. So it has to be displayed somewhere. It has to be known. And develop the benefit metrics. How are we going to measure those benefits as if they are really have reached that specific level, and the framework, how to monitor and control them, both the projects and the measurement of benefits within the program. Activities that make up benefit analysis and planning, they include establishing the benefit realization plan that will guide the work through the remainder of the program, defining and prioritizing program components, including the component projects and sub-programs and their interdependencies, defining the KPIs and associated quantitative measures required to effectively monitor the delivery of program benefits. So the KPIs we established are now being used. This is during the monitoring and control when we will be using them. We are establishing them in benefit analysis and planning, but we'll be using them in monitoring and control. Establish the performance baseline for the program and communicating program performance metrics to the key stakeholders, and updating positive and negative risks to benefits as more information becomes known. So this was the purpose of benefit analysis and planning. Okay, this is important to quantify. Benefits are important to quantify. As soon as a benefit is identified, we need to weigh it. We need to understand how big or small it is. It is especially important to quantify the incremental delivery of benefits so that the full realization of planned benefit may be measured during the performance of the program. Meaningful measures help the program manager and stakeholders determine whether or not benefits exceed their control threshold and whether they are delivered in a timely manner. So whatever measures we select should be seen and should be indicative. We should get some kind of a metric, some measurement out of it. And this analysis and planning includes the timing of the delivery of benefits, the date when realization should start and when it should complete, qualification of the intangible benefits, and quantification of the resulting benefit. You see, qualification and quantification is actually happening just like in case of risk and in case of stakeholders. So intangible benefits which cannot be physically seen or cannot be quantified, probably we have to resort to the qualification. So we have to use Likert scale or things like that, improve morale or inception or perception of the organization. So we have to keep an eye on that in some way. Maybe some artificial scale you have to build, like a Likert scale. Quantification of the resulting benefits, which are tangible, which can be measured. So like how many hours have been saved, how much profit has increased, and what objectives have been achieved. So these are concrete things we can tie them together to the benefits. Market share increased, competitor strength reduced, incremental productivity improvement attained, and costs. This is how the cost in program happen. Program definition, the cost profile would rise sharply in the beginning. Not exactly sharply, but the pattern is going up. And once we are, we have invested initially, then we will have a time of peace. A little less investment will go on in the remaining part of the program definition. And as soon as delivery starts, we start moving up, and this ultimately ends at a peak, just like in case of the project. And with the program player, we start going down, and ultimately, by the end of time, we are at the bottom level. You see, the benefits start yielding, benefit delivery actually starts when we were almost at the peak, and then it kept rising. Now, because that benefit has attained a certain level, you can see that the life cycle line has come down and doesn't touch the base because of the benefits. The benefits have already compensated for it not to come down. So if you take an average of these 2 points, this is exactly what the value would be. So at this point, we are spending this much and our benefits are this much. Our benefits are higher than our spending. So therefore, we are better off. This was a break-even point. The benefits were equal to what we were spending at that point in time. So this is, as soon as we exceed that limit and we are in benefit, then we are successful. So this is the point where we should close down the program. So in this example, program costs may continue after program closeout. Program cost will continue as operational cost. So whomsoever we are handing it over, that would be operational cost he would be bearing to sustain the benefit included in the program funding. Program cost may also end at program closeout. So as far as the program spending of the program is concerned, that would end as the program is closed out, but naturally whomsoever has taken it over, they will start spending their money to sustain this initiative. When the program continues, it may or may not provide additional funds to the organization, accepting the benefit to cover the deferred cost of new benefits. In some cases, the organization may have to self-fund the costs. In addition, quantifiable benefits have not yet exceeded program cost. In this example, program benefits are expected to exceed program cost over the time as specified in the business case. So whatever is the duration of the project, whatever total sum we have spent on this program, we have recovered almost nothing out of it. This is just about 10-20% we have recovered. But in long run, we will not only be able to recover everything. So basically, the intended beneficiary would be benefiting from those benefits, which will be realized over long period of time. Risk defined and refined. Again, as far as risks are concerned, we are very well aware how risks are managed. But the only thing here is that we have associated these risks with the program benefits now, and we are giving a percentage allocation, probability allocation to the benefit program benefits, how risky it is if it is not met. As the program benefit are further defined, risk to the program benefit should be further refined and new benefit risks quantified. Example of risk to implementing benefit include what all are the risks to the implementation of benefit. Stakeholder may not accept it. Transition may get into complexities. The amount of change being absorbed by the organization is going to be too much. Realization of unexpected outcomes, which could be positive or negative, and maybe many other situations that specific industries may encounter. So we have to think in detail about all the risks which could impact various benefits. Positive risks in the form of opportunities to optimize the delivery of benefits should also be identified and defined and quantified. We usually forget about positive risk because the connotation of risk is such that people always consider it negative, and positive risk management or opportunity management is normally not the norm with most of the organizations. At enterprise level, people do not very well recognize and understand that positive risks are also to be managed. Opportunities may include optimization of how critical resources are allocated or consumed by the program components, or leveraging a new technology to reduce the effort or resources required to deliver a particular benefit. Then comes the program governance. How does it relate to the benefit analysis and planning? Program governance is, as I said, this is the red book and you have to follow it. And program governance has its mechanism, has its tentacles into the whole system. And if something is not going in accordance with the program governance, then everybody understands this is going to be bad governance, and we don't want bad governance. So our mechanism, the check and balance system, is so strong at the program level, or for that matter on the organizational level, that we don't let anything happen without getting noticed. So this program governance function within the program will help the program team determine if benefits achievement is occurring within the stated parameter. So we have open eyes. We know where we are, which benefits have been realized, are being realized, and how much we have achieved. So 100% clear picture should be available to all decision makers, right? We should not be blind. We should not be sleeping over it. So naturally, the leader of a community or leader of any big initiative has to remain awake almost all the time, or even he has to sleep with open eyes. But this is ironically the problem, that we do not realize that with great responsibilities, with great powers comes great responsibility. We embrace the powers and we forget about the responsibility. So changes to the component projects or the program as a whole may be proposed when necessary. This analysis requires linking benefits to program objectives, financial expenditure, operation and capital, measurement criteria, including key performance indicators, and measurement and review points. The benefit realization plan is also used during the benefit delivery phase to verify the benefits are being realized or as planned, while providing feedback to program stakeholders and the program governance board to facilitate successful benefit delivery. So the mention of benefit realization plan as such has finally appeared, but this is too small a mention. In the earlier standard, there was this was a main heading, benefit realization plan. So now they have just merged it into the whole big show. Okay, before we can move on to the benefit management plan, I would rather like to have a little break. What do you think?
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. So let's have a break for 10 minutes or so, and then I'll be back. Thank you
Okay.
very much, and take care.
Okay. Thank you.
जी जनाब, कोई क्वेश्चन था जी? Somebody
No,
raised?
no, I just wanted to let you know I'm back.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we just start in a minute. Right, Ji, I'm back. Should we start? Hashim, Shaul, Amir, are you there?
We can start, sir. We can start. I'm waiting.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, let us talk about the benefit management plan, what it is, and how what to do about it. Okay, the benefit management plan is a documented explanation defining the processes for creating, maximizing, sustaining the benefits provided by a project or program. I think we all understand. We are studying program management. We are not going for PMP. One thing we all must clearly understand: whenever there is a management plan, that only explains how to guide, how to do all the relevant processes. And what are those processes? How to create the benefit, how to maximize the benefit, how to sustain the benefit. So this will be all included in the benefit management plan, but as such, this will not give any dates, times, or exact benefits, which benefit. It cannot name the benefit because the benefits have yet not been identified, or if identified, the benefit management plan does not know it. Therefore, no data would be found in benefit management plan, or for that matter, any management plan. And as we were just mentioning, the realization plan, basically the realization plan is the document which would actually be like a schedule. It will give a dates and times and what benefits to be delivered at what time and things like that. It identifies how and when benefits are expected to be derived. Not the dates, but how and when generally the benefits are expected to be delivered to the organization, and specifies mechanisms that should be in place to ensure that the benefits are fully realized over time. So the procedures are there. When benefit is about to realize, what mechanism to be used, and how to fully realize those benefits, so on. But exact data on exactly what benefit is being realized at what time, what point in time, that is not part of benefit management plan. The benefit management plan is the baseline document that guides the delivery of benefits during the program performance. Okay, one more thing. You remember that the management plan is basically a document which provides you the guideline, but it does also include the baselines. Like the schedule management plan also had a schedule baseline, and the overall project management plan in PMP in project management included the schedule management plan as well as the schedule baseline, scope management plan as well as the scope baseline, cost management plan as well as the cost baseline. So this is a baseline. The benefit management plan is the baseline document that guides the delivery of benefit. Now, I would rather not agree with that. I would say the realization plan are the dates, exact dates of the data. That would be the baseline document. And he's trying to say that that baseline document is now part of the benefit management plan. I tend to agree. Fine with me. I have no problem. If you can put in appendix to any appendix to the benefit management plan, I have no problem. But that baseline document has been added. So in all practicality, we have provided the actual data in that. So this is the baseline document. And that baseline document, not the benefit management plan itself, but that baseline document guides the delivery of benefits during the program performance. Benefit management plan also identifies the associated activities, processes, and systems needed for the change driven by realization of the benefits. The required changes to existing processes and systems. So when the benefits are being realized, what all you have to do to other processes, how and when the transition to an operation state will occur, and so on and so on. This is all given in the benefit management plan. But I don't know who is writing these books. A lot many things which are totally confused. They should not mention it like that. You see, the next definition, next heading is benefit management realization plan. So why does he say the baseline document is there? Benefit realization plan should define each benefit, agreed. This is the data, associated assumptions, and determine how each benefit will be achieved. Exactly. So this data is not available with the benefit management plan. This data is only available with the benefit realization plan. Link component project outputs to the planned program outcome. Define the metrics, how to measure it, the KPIs, and the procedure to measure benefits. Define roles and responsibilities required to manage the benefits. Define how the resulting benefits and capabilities will be transitioned into the operational state to achieve benefits. Define how the resulting benefit and capabilities will be transitioned into operational state. Written again, sorry, it's written twice. Provide a process for managing the overall benefits management effort. So this is what the realization plan is all about. Now let us see how benefit management plan and roadmap correspond. Benefit analysis and planning. Here, benefit management and the program roadmap. Benefit management establishes the program architecture that maps how the component project will deliver the capability and outcome that are intended to achieve the program benefit. So according to the benefit management plan guideline from there, and you are establishing this architecture, and at the same time the program architecture defines the structure of the program components by identifying the relationship among the components and the rules that govern their inclusion. So where are the rules? The rules are in the benefit management plan. So this is benefits are being managed, and in a caveat I would say that actual realization is in the realization management plan. Benefit management and the program roadmap. Program roadmap, what it is? It is a chronological representation that depicts key dependencies between major milestones, communicate the linkage between the business strategy and the planned prioritized work, reveals and explains the gaps and provides a high-level view of key milestones and decision points. So it serves to summarize key endpoint objectives, challenges, risks, describes evolving aspects of the program, especially in the case of incremental benefit delivery, and provides a high-level snapshot of the supporting infrastructure and component plans. So I suppose you once you study this from the book and in detail, you focus on these points, which I am debating with benefit management plan, benefit realization plan, roadmap, and benefit management itself. So these are important points. Now, you may consult other books for clarification of certain doubts, but I suppose that that will further confuse you, because even standard for program management has got at several places a little bit of confusion they have created by themselves. So once you consult some other author, he will have a unique and novel idea of his own, which is not at all in alignment with the program standard of program management. So that would confuse you. But at the same time, if you read more than one books, you would start seeing the commonalities in program management which apply to program management, and standard talks about it. So automatically you will not only be able to validate the material from other books and also learn in detail about various tools and techniques, but at the same time you will also be able to point out within the standard if there is something wrong, as I was just trying to do. So benefit management and program roadmap I have just described to you. Then comes the benefit register update. The benefit register we have already created. Now, naturally, over time, it is going to be revised, and new entries in the benefit register will be there. Some updations are going to be there. Some new entries are going to be there. So the benefit register initiated during benefit identification is updated during benefit analysis and planning. At this time, benefit program benefits are mapped to the program components based on the program roadmap. So roadmap is the instrument through which we are mapping it. The benefit register is then reviewed with the appropriate stakeholders to define and approve key performance indicators and other measures that will be used to monitor program performance. Then comes the program benefit delivery. So now we actually enter into the domain where the first component starts yielding the benefit, right? And as I said, it is also possible for a component or a project within a program to start yielding benefits even within its life. But generally, we assume that the benefits would be far-fetched and they would start coming out of the project after it has been completed. So the earliest any benefit we are expecting from any of the components is as soon as the first component gets done, is completed, only then we can start expecting the benefit delivery, and this will continue till the last component has delivered. So the purpose of benefit delivery is to ensure that the program delivers the expected benefits as defined in the benefit realization plan. So realization plan is actually defining what benefits will be realized and when. So this is very in close coordination with the roadmap. Activities that make up benefit delivery include monitoring the organizational environment, including internal and external factors, program objectives, and benefit realization to ensure that the program remains aligned with the organization's strategic objectives. So our core purpose is to get it to let it remain aligned with the organizational objective while we are fulfilling the program objectives and realizing the benefits. Then initiating, performing, transitioning, closing each component, project or sub-program, whatever, and managing the interdependencies between them, right? So this we are doing while we are delivering the benefit. Evaluating opportunities and threats, risk management and all, opportunities and threats affecting benefits, including updating the benefit register for new opportunities and risks affecting benefits, and updating realized or obsolete risks affecting benefits. Now, here one thing is very important. We are continuously focusing on the risks in associated with the benefits. So this is one dimension as far as the risk management of the program is concerned. In that you have certain other things also to do, and that is from the perspective of the components, you have to see what uh, uh, what will come under the program domain for risk identification or the program risk management, and what is in the project risk management. So generally speaking, just for the sake of it, I'm just saying that if you feel that there is a risk in any of the projects which is not only applicable to that project, that risk which is applicable to more than one project, for consistency sake, program manager will take on that risk at program level, and he will stop the project managers from dealing with that risk by themselves. So he will find a solution at program level and take a common measure, common mitigation measure or step, and that would take care of that risk in a consistent fashion. You see, if we don't do that, then every project manager will be, putting in effort and separately expending money on it. So rather than and their results would not be consistent with each other. So for consistency sake and for commonality, we will handle such issues, such limitations, such risks which are common to more than one project. So they will be handled at the program level. Anyways, coming back to the topic we were talking about, uh, evaluating opportunities and threats affecting benefits, including updating the benefit register for new opportunities and risk affecting benefits, and updating realized or obsolete risk affecting benefits. So as I took that point from here, this point is specific about risks affecting benefits. That's it. The program risk management I talked about is slightly different. Evaluating key performance indicators related to program financials, compliance, quality, safety, and stakeholder satisfaction in order to monitor the delivery of benefits. Recording program progress in the benefits register and reporting to key stakeholders as directed in the program management plan. So this is the purpose of benefit delivery and benefit delivery phase. The benefit delivery phase ensures that there is a defined set of reports or metrics reported to the program management office, program steering committee, program sponsors, and program stakeholders. By consistently monitoring and reporting on benefit metrics, stakeholders can assess the overall health of the program and take appropriate action to ensure successful benefit delivery. So if we can minutely have an eye on the benefit delivery phase, then probably we will not let anything slip by. The KPIs are also happening, and we are reporting and doing everything. We are keeping everybody in picture. So this still is a good governance. The moment you lose track of what you are doing, it enters into the domain of bad governance. So we are actually, abiding by the program governance framework which has been given to us. Iterative processes. Benefit management is an iterative process. Benefit analysis and planning and benefit delivery in particular have a cyclic relationship. So benefit analysis and planning ultimately yields into delivery. Delivery, if there is a problem, go back again analyze, plan, delivery, again analyze, plan, delivery. So this is a kind of a cycle. But if you pass through it, then just like the project life cycle, we will move on to the next step. Benefits analysis and planning may be continuously revisited as conditions change. Corrective action may need to be taken in response to information gained from monitoring the organizational environment, and these corrective actions are the cycle we are just talking about, actually forcing us to make corrective action. Modification actions may have to modify in order to maintain alignment of the expected program result with the organizational strategic objectives. Corrective action may also need to be taken as a result of evaluating program risks and key performance indicators. So here probably it is talking about the program risk which I was mentioning. So corrective actions can be taken for them. Components may require modifications. That is a change request due to performance related to program financials, compliance, whatever. These corrective actions may require the program components be added, changed, or terminated during the benefit delivery phase, and that would tantamount to a proper program change request going to the governance body, getting approved, and maybe as a result of that, you will have a component added or deleted or whatever. Benefits and program components. Program benefits. Each component should be initiated at the appropriate time in the program and integrated to incorporate its output to the program as a whole. The initiation and closure of these components are significant milestones in the program roadmap and schedule. So basically, program is only concerned about the start and finish of an initiative or a component. So we have to abide by those dates, and project managers are responsible for whatever happens in between. The milestones signal the achievement and delivery of incremental benefits. As the benefit management plan is modified to reflect changes in program pacing, the program roadmap is also updated. Benefits and governance. Governance. For a benefit to have value, it needs to be realized to a sufficient degree and in a timely manner. The actual benefits delivered by the program component or program itself should be regularly evaluated against the expected benefits as defined in the benefits management plan. A key aspect to consider is whether program components and even the program as a whole are still viable. And as we already said, if a program is out of sync with the strategy of the organization, that is no more valid. Should the program benefit proposition change, for example, if the overall life cycle cost exceeds the proposed benefit, if the benefits are delivered too late, for example, when a window of opportunity no longer exists, the program roadmap should be assessed. There is something wrong. Opportunities to optimize the program pacing may also be identified, as well as other synergies and efficiencies among components. So we are not going to kill the program just for before doing any taking any measure. We will do our level best to bring the project back on track, program back on track. But if it can't be possible, then this program will be killed. The benefit management plan may have to be modified to reflect changes in the program components and pacing. When the benefit management plan is modified, the program roadmap should be updated as well. Program governance performance domain integrates with the benefit management performance domain to help ensure that the program is continuously aligned with the organizational strategy and that the intended value can still be achieved by the delivery of program benefits. Although program benefit is by itself is doing a very good job, and but program governance will have a further check on it whether it is still aligned with the strategy and all that, and if not, then necessary actions would be taken. So they are continuously working together, and therefore the good governance is going on. Effective governance helps ensure that promised outcomes are achieved and delivered for the organization to realize intended benefits. So if everything is going according to the plan, there is no problem with the governance. Everything is okay. The resulting benefit review requires analysis of the planned versus actual benefits across a wide range of factors, including the KPIs. In particular, the following aspects should be analyzed and assessed during the benefit delivery phase: the strategic alignment and the value delivery. Two things. And by the way, they are two different things. They are not exactly the same. Strategic alignment is how you are aligned with the organizational strategy, and organizational strategy may not always be working towards profit. Maybe organizational strategy is working towards some specific objective where earning money or generating value is not the sole aim. On the other hand, aligning yourself with the value delivery is again very important, because whatever initiative you are taking, if you're not really adding any value to the organization, by that, probably you're not doing very well. So you have to strike a balance. If both of these strategic alignment and value delivery are not in sync with each other, then you have to somehow create a balance between them. You have to judge which is more important for you, and can they both be unified somehow for the purposes of doing this program. Strategic alignment focuses on ensuring the linkage of enterprise and the program plan, on defining, maintaining, and validating the program versus proposition, and on aligning program management with enterprise operations management. So we are trying to establish a linkage with the enterprise operations management, with our aligning our program with that. For internally focused programs, the benefit realization process measures how the new benefit affects the flow of operation. If we are doing it for our own organization, the benefits are ultimately going to be delivered to the organization itself, and they will go into the operation. So there is a very strong link. So therefore, this will help us in enterprise if we can align program management with the enterprise operations management, especially in the case of internal benefits. As the change is introduced, and how negative impacts and potential disruptiveness of introducing the change may be minimized. Value delivery, again, very important. Focus on ensuring that the program delivers the intended benefit. Naturally, if it does, then the value would naturally evolve out of it. There may be a window of opportunity for the realization of a particular planned benefit, and for that benefit to generate real value. So you must do it at the right time. The program manager, program steering committee, the key stakeholder may determine if the window of opportunity was met or compromised by actual events in the program or component. For example, a delay, a cost overrun, or a scope reduction. Investment may also have time value, where shifts in component schedules have additional financial impact. So far, I think this is pretty simple. There is nothing to be confused about. If at all you need any explanation at any point, or you want to discuss any point, you can always raise your hand, and we can do that. We have got ample time. I think I'll be able to complete this and discuss a lot many things later. So coming over to the benefit transition, the purpose of this phase is to ensure the program benefits are transitioned to operational areas and can be sustained once they are transferred. So transition and sustainment. Value is delivered when the organization, community, or other program beneficiaries are able to utilize these benefits. So as soon as I have delivered these benefits to the intended beneficiary, then I have done my job. I have delivered the value. But important here is how smoothly do I transit? Do they understand what they are taking over? So as we were talking about it earlier, we understand that this is very important, that the intended beneficiary should be ready and should be prepared to take on the load we are shifting towards them. Activities that make a benefit transition include: number one, verifying that the integration, transition, and closure of the program and its component meet or exceed the benefit realization criteria established to achieve the program strategic objective. So the initial criteria established for the benefit realization, have this been met? At least it should be met, or it should have been exceeded. That is the success. Developing a transition plan to facilitate the ongoing realization of benefits when turned over to the impacted operational area. Whomsoever you are shifting it to, transition should be smooth. Benefit transition ensures that the scope of the transition is defined. Stakeholders in the receiving organization or functions are identified and participate in the planning. The program benefits are measured and sustainment plans are developed, and the transition is executed. So this is how transition will happen. So benefit transition planning activities within the program are only one part of the complete transition process. You plan for it and then you do it. The receiving organization or function is responsible for all preparation processes and activities within their domain to ensure that the product, service, or capability is received and incorporated into their domain. There may be multiple transition events as individual program components close or as other work activity within the program closes. Benefits may be realized before the formal work of program has ended and will likely continue long after the formal work has been completed. So now we are not talking about the projects which have yielded the benefit, but now we are talking about the program which is yielding the benefit and handing it over, transitioning it to the other party. And that other party will continue to yield this benefit. Benefit transition may be performed following the close of an individual program component if that component is intended to provide incremental benefits to the organization. Benefit transition may also occur following the close of an overall program when the program as a whole is intended to provide benefit to the organization and no incremental benefits have been identified. So, what are the scenarios here? The continuous benefit delivery, incremental benefit delivery, and one-time benefit delivery, no incremental. So these are the three kinds of transitions that could be there. Benefits are quantified so that their realization can be measured over time. Benefits are sometimes not realized until long after the end of the active work on a program and may need to be monitored well after the program has closed. At the end of the program, the resulting benefits should be compared against those intended in the business case to ensure that the program will actually deliver the intended benefit. But you see, the benefits which will be delivered long after transition, that's exactly why we are leaving out the sustainment plan, benefit sustainment plan, because then we can't be responsible for what is happening after 10 years of today, from today. Then is the acceptance. Benefit transition activities ensure that individual program components, results, or outputs meet acceptance criteria. So that acceptance criteria has to be, they are satisfactorily closed or integrated into other program elements and contribute to the overall achievement of the collective set of program benefits. So proper acceptance procedures should have been adopted, and only then the program can close down. The transition can only be accomplished on acceptance. So transition includes activities such as evaluation of program and program component performance against the applicable acceptance criteria, as we just said, which include the KPIs, review and evaluation of acceptance criteria applicable to delivered components or outputs, review of operational and program process documentation, review of training and maintenance material, review of applicable contractual agreements, assessment to determine if resulting changes have been successfully integrated, activities related to improving acceptance of resulting changes, which means workshops, meetings, training, etc., through which you can, educate them how to do it later. Transfer of risks affecting the benefit transition to be receiving organization. So they will be owner of those risks after that. Readiness assessment approval by the receiving person, group, or organization, and ultimately disposition of all related resources. As far as receiver is concerned, the receiver is the transition in this transition process varies depending on the individual component, event, and the program type. Product support organization could be the receiver for a product line that a company develops. For a service provided to customer, the receiver could be the service management organization. If the work products are developed by an external customer, and transition could be to the customer's organization, in some cases the transition may be from one program to another. This is to be noted. Sometimes transition is from one program to another, because another program is going to take this benefit as an input and move on with the next initiative. So that is a very important point to make. So who could be the receivers? As we said, within our own organization, this could be a company which develops a product line a service-oriented customer, or an external customer, or another program. These are the 5 different options for the receiver. No transition. A program may also be terminated with no transition to operations. Now, why should that happen? This may occur when the charter is fulfilled and operations are not necessary to continue realization of ongoing benefit. Meaning what? Or whatever we had to realize, we had realized, and it is not to be handed over to anyone. Or the chartered program is no longer of value to the organization. So this is one of the cases where no transition will happen. Transition may be a formal activity among functions within a single organization or a contract-based activity with an entity outside the organization. The receiving entity should have a clear understanding of the capability or result to be transitioned and what is required for the entity to successfully sustain the benefits. All pertinent documents, training and materials, supporting systems, facilities, and personnel are typically provided during the transition and may include transition meetings and conferences. What about the open risk? Should any remaining risk affecting the transitioned benefit remain open, the program manager should transfer the risk to the appropriate organization. So that should be formally transferred to that organization. The organization accepting the benefit may not be the team to monitor ongoing risk for the benefit. The risk may be monitored by a governance organization such as a program management office or whatever. So whomsoever is responsible should take on the open risks. Last but not the least is the benefit sustainment, where we actually provide the guidelines as to how to sustain these benefits in long run. The purpose of benefit sustainment phase is the ongoing maintenance activities performed beyond the end of the program by receiving organizations to ensure continued generation of the improvement and outcomes delivered by the program. As the program is closed, responsibility for sustaining those benefits provided by the program may pass on to the another organization or another program. Benefits may be sustained through operations, maintenance, new component, or other efforts. A benefit sustainment plan should be developed prior to program closure to identify the risks, processes, measures, metrics, and tools necessary to ensure the continued realization of the benefits delivered. Ongoing sustainment of program benefits should be planned by the program manager and the component project managers during the performance of the program. The actual work that ensures the sustainment of benefits is typically conducted after the close of the program and is beyond the scope of the individual components. They can't do it, but they will plan how it will be transferred. Although the receiving person, organization, or beneficiary group performs the work that ensures benefits continue beyond the end of the program manager is responsible for planning these post-transition activities during the performance of the program. So this will be planned during the program, but after handing over the transitioning the program benefits and the sustainment plan to the beneficiary organization, this is no more your responsibility. The responsibility for benefit sustainment falls outside the traditional project lifecycle. However, this responsibility may remain within the program lifecycle. Project is no more interested. The projects within the program are no more interested in the benefit sustainment. So sustainment will remain the responsibility of the program for till the time it is transitioned. While these ongoing product, service, or capability support activities may fall within the scope of the program, they typically are operational in nature and typically are not run as a program or project. So what are all are the activities in sustainment? Planning for the operational, financial, and behavioral changes necessary for program recipients, to whomsoever they are, organization, individual, group, whatever. Implementing the required change effort to ensure that the capabilities provided during the course of the program continue when the program is closed and program resources are returned to the organization. 3. Monitoring the performance of the product, service, and capability or result. For a reliably and availability for use perspective and comparing actual performance to planned performance, including key performance indicators. 4. Monitoring the continued suitability of the deployed product service capability or result to provide benefits expected by the customers owning and operating it. This may include the continued viability of interfaces with other product services capabilities or results and the continued completeness of the functionality. Number 5, monitoring the continued availability of logistics support for the product service capability or result in light of technological advancement and the willingness of vendors to continue to support older configurations. I also want to make a point here. He is repeatedly saying product service capability or result. Now, as far as the benefit is concerned, that is providing you a kind of a capability. Whatever the benefits of the program are, they have been transferred. But say the revenues have gone up, the benefits have, all the expected benefits may have been achieved. But as a result of handover, there will be a lot of physical assets which will be transferred. So individual projects, whatever they have produced, there may be buildings in it, there may be, a lot many other things. There could be product, service, result, capability. So these are actually the things which will be associated with the transfer. Then we have responding to customer inputs on their needs for product, service, capability, or result of support assistance or for improvement in performance or functionality. Then providing on-demand support for the product, service, capability, or result, either in features, improved technical information, or real-time help desk support. Planning for and establishing operational support for the product, service, capability, and result, separate from the program management function without relinquishing the other product support function. You see, we are not going to provide those services. We are going to provide the plan for providing those services. Whomsoever is taking over, they will take on the responsibility for operational or physical, implementation of those things. Updating technical information concerning the product, service, capability or improvement in response to frequent product support queries. And 10th point is planning the transition of product or capability support from program management to an operations function within an organization. So the purpose of benefit sustainment activities that have there are few more benefits. Planning the retirement and the phase out of the product or capability or the cessation of support with appropriate guidance to the current customers. Developing business cases and potential initiation of new projects or programs to respond to operational issues with the deployed product, service, or capability being supported, or public acceptance reaction to the improvement, or to legislative changes, political, economic, and socio-economic changes, cultural shifts, or logical issues with the deployed product, service, capability, or result being supported. So, meaning what? That as a result of this program being delivered, there might be new business cases coming up with a lot many other reasons and a lot many other requirements. So they may start another journey. Monitoring any outstanding risks affecting the program's benefits. Here we are able to map everything. Organizational governance is continuous. Program governance comes under the organizational governance. Program definition, this is the program life cycle. Program definition is having the program formulation and program planning. And in program delivery, actually the components are being authorized, charters issued to each component oversight, and ultimately closure of the component. So all the projects will be done during the program delivery. And the outcomes from there would be reaching for benefit consolidation and sustainment. So this is a general story how the benefit occurs. But program closure, so how the benefit will occur, we have already seen that. And we can relate to that. So this brings us to the end of this chapter. So if at all you need to discuss anything, question anything, I am open for all questions. We can go back to any slide you feel like. Yes, please. Any questions? We are done with this portion. Benefits are done.
Okay, I have a question. So if at what point does the benefits after this or during sustainment, do they become core value of the organization?
Okay.
Because at some point, these benefits are realized, that they're sustained, and then it becomes the fabric of the organization.
Exactly.
If they keep on developing.
There is a two-edged weapon in this question. One, the organization which created it, performing organization, for them the benefit has been realized. Whatever they went for, they accomplished it, handed it over, and story finished. I do not need any more to be. So, howsoever that organization is to sustain it, I have given them a sustainment plan, and I am done. As far as the organization, the ultimate user organization is concerned, that is their plan. How are they going to merge it into their existing system? Maybe it will take a couple of years for doing that, but generally speaking, the thing has already been taken into operation, and it has already entered into the fiber of the organization.
Yeah.
They did not take it as a project or a program. They took it as an operation. Therefore, there is already the fiber of that.
And if there is further benefits to be realized, they will start a new program.
New program, yes, of course.
Ultimately.
And the cycle can go on. And maybe at the end of the day, you say, okay, whatever has been done has been done. Now let us create new business cases, new change-related initiatives, new projects, new program, and the story continues.
Okay. See, we are just we just delivered a very large program for one of the satellite manufacturer called OneWeb.
Okay.
And during that time, we ran this as a project component, and rather not look at this as a program. But having gone through the lessons learned, we realized that there was a trick that we missed. So hence why we're now looking at from a program perspective. And the next program we are hopefully winning in a couple of months is same as the previous one. So we will develop this from a program perspective, because the benefits were never really realized. It's just product delivery. So from what I understand, the project is outputs. The programs, the outputs of the programs are called the outcomes from which we generate the benefits. And you may need 2 or 3 outcomes from a program to actually generate one benefit. So we're now going to clearly identify what the overall organizational benefits that we need to achieve within the program, and have the projects deliver the components.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
no, I think that's fairly understood now from my side.
Very nice. Very nice. Anyone else? Now, nobody else is participating today.
No, not much. I mean, we understood that what the benefits are, and sometimes the benefits, I mean, even at the close of a program, we will still not get the benefits because it takes so long to get it realized. So what we suggest, what we said that at that stage we are saying it is benefits transition, but we will not be able to prepare the benefits the last phase because it's still not realized, right?
Yeah. You may not be in service before.
I looked through the other modules, especially the number 9 and 10. They don't don't seem to be aligned with SPM4.
You just have to
because the appendices reference.
have you seen the PgMP4 presentations which I uploaded today?
Yes.
Forget,
I've just gone through those.
forget about the appendices, glossaries. They are not to be studied. We will only go through the major portion. And then
what about the mapping? Are you going to be doing the mapping?
I did not do it so far. I think I have to spend some time on it. I'll do that.
Sorry, I've lost you, Mr. Suhail.
I said I have not done it on the new 4th edition, but I will do it before your class finishes. At the end of it, I'll give it to you.
Okay, great. No problems. Thank you.
Right, if there is nothing more, then let's call it a day or night or whatever you want to call it at your end. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And take care. See you tomorrow.
And tomorrow's same time.
Sure. Okay, take care.
Okay, great.